Hello students. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about the control, its meaning, definition, needs and importance, and process of control, means states. So let's go. Control. Control is the important function of management. It is also an important element of management process. After planning, organizing, staffing, and directing have been carried out, the final managerial function of controlling ensures that the activity of planned are being accomplished or not. So the function of controlling helps to achieve the desired goal by planning. In the past, managers believe the necessity of control arose only when something went wrong. The objective of control was to be find out the person responsible for the event and to take an action against him. But now this point of view the consider less important. According to scientific management, the primary objective of control is to be bring to light a variation as soon as appear between the performance and the standard laid down and take the corrective action if necessary. Control may be defined as the process of analyzing whether the action are being taken as planned and taking corrective action if necessary to make these conform to planning. In addition to the above, other authors has been defined the control as follows. Control is an aspect of projection of planning, whereas planning states the course. Control observes variation from the course and initiates action to return to the choice course or an appropriately change one. Controlling is the determining what is being accomplished, that is, evaluating the performance and, if necessary, applying corrective measures so that the performance takes place according to plan. Now, needs and importance of control. All organizations are forced to achieve certain objective. The so objective can be achieved through the various action. The management has to control various action of organization through proper control. Thus, control is an integrated action of an organization or manager. The needs and importance of control can be traced out from the following points. First one is the size of organization. The size of industry or business grows day by day. During the period of boom, the size grows rapidly. As the size of business grows, the nature of business becomes complex and hence there is a need for efficient control system to coordinate the various activities of business. Second one is organizational efficiency and effectiveness. Proper control ensure organizational efficiency and effectiveness. Various control factors, namely making managers responsible, motivating them for higher performance and achieving coordination in their performance, control measures that the organization works efficiently. The organization also move toward effectiveness because of a proper control system. The organization is considered in effective if it is able to achieve its objective, and since the control focus on achievement of organizational objective, it necessity lead to organizational effectiveness. Third one, policy verification. For effective functioning of an organization, various policies are set in place of the management. This policy in the organizational generate the needs for control. This policy become a basis in the sense that the organizational performance is reviewed in this light. They also become the reason for control because through these an organization tries it various individual heads to such framework. In this process, the organization and its management can verify the quality of various policies. Fourth one, deter decentralization trades. The current trades in decentralization have been brought in the decision-making authority at lower level management, while accountability for the result remain with the upper management. Control serve the purpose of monitoring and ensuring performance while delegating authority to subordinates. Fifth one is coordination in action. Through coordination is the essence of management and is achieved through proper performance of all managerial function. Control affects these aspects significantly. Control systems are designed in such a way that they focus not only on the operating responsibility of the manager, but also on his ultimate responsibility. This focus a manager to coordinate the activities of the subordinate in such a way that each of them contribute positively toward the objective of superior. Since the following throughout the organization. Coordination is achieved in the organizational as a whole. Sixth one is a measure of process. There is a close link between planning and controlling the organizational operation. The planning process describes the fundamental goal and objective of organization and the methods for attending them. The control process measures the process toward this goal and reorganize, reconcile that. And in an understanding, control consists in verifying whether everything occurs in confidently with the plan adopted, the instruction issued and principle established as an navigator continuously take reading to ascertain whether he is relative to planned course. So does the manager take a reading to see where he sends his enterprises or department is on the charted and predetermined course. Seventh one is increases morale. Managers and their subordinate very often commit mistake. For example, wrong part are ordered, wrong pricing decision are made, problem are diagnosed incorrectly, and so on. Such a wrong decision can result in lowering of morale. Control technique reduce the change of errors in judgment, thus making the organizational environment more stable. The workers are happy when things are under control and they commit minimum mistake. Eighth one is environmental changes. Change in integral part of almost any organization environment. Market shift, emergence of new product, new material are discovered and new regulation are passed. The control function enable manager to detect change that are affecting their organizational product or services. They can then move to cope with the threats or opportunities that these are changes in present. Ninth one is uncertainty. Control form a basis for future action. Today's world of rapid and something unpredictable changes make the future very uncertainty. This make planning very difficult. Hence, control points are necessary to check the progress of activities and the plans and the make necessary and constitutive adjustment so as to accommodate any environmental changes. And last one is help to deviations. The main aim of control is not only to detect the deviations and adopt corrective measures, but to take measures to prevent of deviations. If any decision take place, dispute based preventive and controlling effect, then the corrective are to be applied. Control is information plus action. It is a preventive measures. Remedial as well as preventive measure go simultaneously. Remove obstacle and give organizational a goal ahead signal. Thus, control tries to ensure uninterrupted running of a business. These are the needs and importance of control. Now we are going to learn about process of control or steps in process control. In organization, the system, process, and techniques of control are generally the same. All throughout the area of operation may be different. Planning and control are rapidly related. Control is the perform in the context of planning and add planning into way. It draw attention to substitution where the new planning is needed, and it provides some of the data upon which the plan can be based. According to Professor Newman, following are the essential steps in control process. First step is establish of control standard. The first step in the control process to establish standard against which result can be measured. Since the entire operation cannot be observed, each organization must be first develop its own list of key result area for the purpose of control. Profitability, market position, productivity, personal management, etc. are some of the important areas in all business organizations. Standard in enterprises should be set up previously per, per, and preferably in quantitative term. Standards should be clear and meaningful. If they are clear and have been understood by the person concerned, they themselves will be able to check their performance and improve it. It is also necessary to identify responsibility of different goal, which is a definite individual in the organization. This will help a great deal in locating individual responsible for variation in the performance. Further standard need to be flexible in order to adapt to change condition. For example, a new salesman who proves to be an above average performance should have his sales standard adjusted accordingly. Every objective, every policy, every procedure, and every budget become a standard against which the performance may be measured. In practice, standard may are as follows. First one is a physical standard, such a labor hours per unit of the production per machine etc. Second one is the cost standard, such as a direct and indirect cost per unit produced, material cost per unit, labor cost per unit, etc. Third one, revenue standard, such as average sales per customer, sales per capital in a given market area, etc. Fourth one is the capital standard, such as rate of return on capital invested, ratio of current asset to current liability, etc. And last one is a intangible standard, such as a computations of manager or employer. reputations of the firm, etc. In short, standard must be effective and practicable. Effective standard should be satisfy the following requirement. First one is express the quantitative term. Second one is capable to achievement with a reasonable amount of cost, effort, and time. Third one, concentrated on the result and not on procedure. Fourth one is capable of being modified whenever is required by the circumstances. Fifth one is set in constitution with the employer's consult who are responsible for their achievement. Sixth one is objective and accurate based on the some scientific basis rather than the guesswork. And the last one, seventh, consistent with the all organizational objectives. Second step is measuring performance. The second major step in a control process, it is a measurement of performance. This step involves measuring the performance in respect of the work in terms of control process. There are three methods of checking the performance. First one is prior approval. Manager may insist on checking personally before the work is permitted to process. There are two reasons why executive instant on such approval. Firstly, they feel confident that the work is going on plan, and secondly, it gives them added assurance that the standard laid down will be measured. However, this arrangement is likely to cause delay in action. Second one is measuring the expected. As as long as operation going on according to the plan, there is no need to submit any report. Only when unexpected result occurred, there is a need to reporting and taking corrective action. In the absence of such report, the manager would ensure all activities are proceeding as planned. And second, last one, third is personal observation. Many business executives instinct of making frequent visit to their plant so that they can see for themselves the real state of affairs. This method is not suitable for every big organization where it can be adopted only on a sampling basis. Third step is comparing actual performance with standard. Checking the appraising performance involve measuring of actual performance of various individual, group or unit and then comparing it with the standard which have already had been set by the planning stage. The quantitative measurement should be done in case where standard have been set in quantitative term. In other cases, the performance should be measured in terms of qualitative factors or intangible term, that is survey, attitude of workers, public opinion, etc. The technique of measurement of performance may be personal observation, sample, checking of performance, etc. A sound management information system should be adopted for timely and accurate measurement of performance. While comparing actual performance, the manager has to note two things. First one is finding out the extent of deviations, and second one is identifying the possible causes of such deviation. Comparison is very easy when standards have been set in quantitative term, where result in intangible, direct personal observation and report etc. may be used to find out the extent of variation. Where standards are achieved, no further managerial action is required and control process is complete. But standard may not be achieved in all cases. Of extent of variation may differ from case to case. The management has to determine whether strict compliance is necessary or there may be permissible limit of variation. Control by exception. Only deviation beyond the reasonable limit should be brought to notice of the top management. This is known as control by exception. When deviation between standard and actual performance beyond the prescribed limit, an analysis is made of the possible causes of such deviation. Identifying possible causes along with the computations of deviation is important for controlling and measure planning purpose. The causes further may be analyzed as controllable or not controllable. Necessary corrective action is by the concerned person if the causes of deviation is initiated controllable. However, the person concerned cannot take any action if the causes of deviation is uncontrollable. Control report. Measurement of performance analysis of deviation and their causes may be of no use unless the facts are brought to the notice of concern who is responsible for corrective action. Such communication is presented generally in the form of control report containing all the information about standard, actual performance, deviation, and their possible causes. As soon as possible, a report should be sent to the person whose performance is found below standard so that he may improve his performance either by improving his action or with the help and guidance of superior or do so. Otherwise, he will face a warning. The control report should also be sent other integrated persons, including executive engaged in the planning process and the staff who are expected to be familiar with the control performance information for giving advice about the activity under the control when approached. And last step is a correction of deviation. After the completing the actual performance with the prescribed standard and finding a deviation, the next steps that should be taken by the manager is to be correct these deviation. Corrective action should be taken without wasting any time so that the normal position can be restored quickly. The real state of good control system should be take right action at right time. Such corrective action may be first, revision of standard if they seem to be unattainable. Second one, change in the assignment of test. Third one, training of personnel. Fourth one, changes in existing technique of direction. Fifth one, change in organizational standard. And sixth one, provision of new facilities, etc. The executive or manager should further determine the correct cause of deviation. The cause of deviation may be different types, such as inadequate and poor equipment, machinery, adequate communication system, lack of motivation of subordinate, the defective system of training and selecting of personnel, defective system of remuneration, etc. The remedial action that should be taken depend on the nature of causes of variation. But there are many external factors such as a market demand, competitors, price changes, etc. that control may be adjusted by the executive action. They have to be acceptable as the fact of the situation, and executive should be revise their plan in a such light of change focus of factors. So student, these are the process of control or steps in process control. Thank you.